The phone rings. You see that someone close to you is calling, and you happily answer without any thought. You don't even hope for what will happen. Suddenly, there are screams and a call for help, while you stand helplessly by your phone listening to it all. In all this confusion and panic, you don't know what to do. Your heart rate goes up. 2 lives will disappear without a trace. What actually happened? Kidnapping? Murder? Did this happen because of jealousy, revenge, or maybe a debt to someone? So many questions, and so few answers. What is certain is that one wrong step was made, one step from which there is no going back, and it brings the worst thing with it.
It's not nice you go to bed every night and the last words before you go to bed is, today is over, will tomorrow be a better day? Is our winner going to be found tomorrow? And with Anna?
William Maughan and Anna Varslavane went missing on the 14th of April 2015 in the Gormanston district of County Meath. They were young and full of love, always smiling with so much to offer this world. Tala was the birthplace of William Maughan. He was an athlete who enjoyed going to the gym to exercise. He was 34 years old at the time. Anastasia Anna Varslavane was born in Latvia, but had spent several years in Ireland. She was a nice and constantly cheerful young lady. She was 21 years old at the time and pregnant with their first child. They were on their way to meet up with William's mother at Gormanston, County Meath, to catch a lift to Tala. You see, they wanted to start a new life and get away from the place they were staying. Anna called Willie's mother at 2:57 p.m. on April 14, 2015. One of her sons responded, and he could hear Anna pleading for help. The Maughans arrived 10 minutes later at the agreed-upon pickup location, but neither Willie nor Anna were present. That was the last time they heard their voice. Gardaí believed the pair may have been murdered on the orders of someone who was deeply engaged in the Drogheda dispute. They believe he was responsible for the deadly shooting of Benny Whitehouse in Balbriggan in 2014. He was gunned down after dropping his daughters off at school. Gardaí believed that Willie was murdered because he knew too much about the Whitehouse murder, and the gang was afraid he would offer information to the Garda. And since his girlfriend probably witnessed Willie getting murdered, they also had to get rid of her. Willie's parents, Joseph and Helen, have made public statements concerning their son and his girlfriend's disappearance. Joseph Maughan feels his kid was targeted due to the fact he knew too much about a 2014 murder. Following their disappearance, the family was intimidated and threatened for years. In 2016, the grave of Willie's younger brother, Michael Bobby Maughan, had even been dug up in what his family believes was an intimidation effort by the group responsible for the disappearance. The damage occurred in the early hours of the morning, the day after Joseph Maughan asked for information about William's abduction. 3 guys entered Bornabrina Cemetery around 2 a.m. and began digging up Michael's grave, although his bones were not stolen. The cause of death of Michael Maughan was meningitis. At first, members of the Price Maguire organised crime group were accused of the murders of William Maughan and Anastasia Varslavane. Willie and his pregnant girlfriend Anastasia were last seen alive at Rockley House in Gormanston, County Meath, on a compound owned at that time by a feared criminal named Cornelius Price. They had been living in one of the caravans on the property. It was a typical Price method, letting vulnerable people live on his compound, but using them in the meantime to commit crimes like hiding weapons and drugs. Willie was familiar with drug abuse, and it's said that he often used to drive Price and his mates around. However, when Anna got pregnant, they wanted out and to start a family in a safe environment. Gardaí believed they were kidnapped and killed after going missing on April 14, 2015. Although there is no evidence of their remains, many believe that their bodies were secretly disposed of on the compound. Associates of paralyzed Drogheda mafia boss Owen Maguire and feared Price have long been accused of the Willie and Anastasia murders. A Garda detective inspector stated in a statement submitted to the High Court as part of a Criminal Assets Bureau prosecution against mobster Owen Maguire and his brother Brendan, "It is my opinion that some members of the Price Maguire OGC pulled off the double murder." So far, 5 people, including 1 woman, have been detained and questioned in connection with Willie and Anastasia's killings, but no one has been prosecuted. Price's gang is also a prime suspect in the unsolved murder of Benny Whitehouse, and Price has already been arrested in connection with this alleged criminal activity. Mr. Whitehouse was shot dead in front of his partner, who had just dropped their child off at school on September 25, 2014, as part of a separate conflict. Martin Moran, described as a close criminal associate of the Maguires in the senior detective's statement, was also apprehended in connection with Whitehouse's murder. Whitehouse was an important figure in the underground, and it was shocking that anybody would consider killing him, especially in the awful manner in which he was executed. Price appeared to be making a power move, and from that point on, he began to dominate the areas around Louth and Meath. Investigating Gardaí believe Martin Moran operated the getaway vehicle shortly after the murder. The vehicle had been set on fire days later in Ardee, County Louth, according to the detective's declaration. The Criminal Appeals Board case against Owen and his brother Brendan revolves around €304,000 in cash, 2 residences on St Anthony's Park Cement Road in Drogheda, a watch made by Rolex, a Ford Transit van, and a Mercedes automobile. Owen and Brendan, who the affidavit describes as a person of significant strength and is the person who collects the sum of money owed for drugs or uses intimidation when required, both survived being shot in different attempted murder instances in 2018 and 2019. The same senior detective implicated slain serial murderer Robbie Lawler as the gunman in the attempted murder of Owen, and Gardaí thinks the attempt to assassinate Brendan was carried out by some members of the gang at war with Maguire, according to the affidavit. According to the most recent reports, the Gardaí think that mob leader Cornelius Price personally carried out the killings of Willie Maughan and his pregnant lover Anna Varslavane with a claw hammer. Evil criminal Price, at the age of 41, died in a Welsh hospital from a head injury, providing some comfort to Willie's parents, Joe and Helen. Gardaí think that the vicious mobster who masterminded multiple killings lured Willie and Anna to his stronghold in Gormanston, County Meath, where they were killed and their corpses were covertly disposed of on April 14, 2015. Helen, Willie's mother, stated that Price's death means that other families would not have to suffer as she did. Their bodies were never found, and they are still looking for them to give them a decent burial in order to find their eternal peace. Visibly shaken by this murder, they even gave a statement to one of the media.
Nobody really does not know what this pain is until we're in a situation like this yourself. And it's a nightmare that no family deserves to go through.
They gathered their strength to say a few words.
But the Maughan family, at some kind of peace, do the right thing.
That one question arises. Is it worth taking 2 lives that are full of youth, love and energy? What kind of person does it have to be to do this? A psychopath? A born killer? Someone without any feelings? We have witnessed that in today's world, it's easy to take a wrong step. If you know too much, darkness just eats you. Everyone is afraid that someone will speak up, and that's unfortunately why things end up like this. 2 young lives were snuffed out, and their remains were never found. Some sources say that they were burned and that their remains spilled into the river, but William's parents do not want to accept that and are constantly looking for him and his girlfriend. If you like this video and want more content like this, hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a comment on what you think about this case. We'd love to hear your opinion. Thank you for watching.